Here are the top stories. Netanyahu pressures Hamas to find remaining dead hostages. Fresh bandit attacks in Kaduna leave 9 dead, several abducted. Labour Party declares Peter Obi will not contest in 2027, and the Governor Oti fumes over plot to rig 2027 elections. Details now. Thank you for staying tuned. The World News at 12 begins with Israel's Prime Minister telling a memorial for victims of the Hamas-led attack on October 7, 2023, that he is determined to secure the return of the dead hostages still in Gaza and that the country will continue to fight terrorism with full force. Benjamin Netanyahu made the comments hours after Hamas returned the bodies of 2 more hostages, but said it was not able to access the remaining 19. There has been fury in Israel that Hamas has not returned all the bodies in line with last week's Gaza ceasefire deal. Though the US has downplayed the suggestion, it amounts to a breach. Hamas said later it remained committed to the ceasefire, including keenness to hand over all remaining corpses. In a tragic development back home in Nigeria, the bandits launched coordinated attacks on Thursday evening in Beningwari local government area of Kaduna State. A resident of Beningwari town at the local government headquarters described the assault as a well-planned operation. According to sources, the attackers surrounded Lion Danauta village in Kuyelo ward, blocking all entry and exit points while firing sporadically. At around 7 p.m., after the bandits had retreated, 9 bodies were recovered and about 13 injured persons were rushed to a hospital for treatment. Several villagers were also reportedly abducted. Authorities warned that the full extent of the casualties may not be known until search and rescue operations resume this morning. Efforts to continue the search on Thursday night were halted due to darkness and fears that the attackers could still be nearby. The recovered bodies are expected to be buried today, either before or shortly after the Friday congregational prayers. National Secretary of the Labour Party, loyal to the factional chairman Julius Abure Umar Farouk, has dismissed speculation that its 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi would contest for the presidency in 2027. This comes a few hours after Peter Obi insisted that he was a member of the Labour Party and that his name would be on the ballot in 2027. But speaking in a Monitor television interview on Thursday, Farouk said Peter Obi was only enjoying media attention but would not contest in 2027. According to him, Peter Obi declined the Labour Party's offer of the presidential ticket. The Labour Party National Secretary further questioned Peter Obi's current political alignment, alleging that his recent moves had created uncertainty about his party affiliation. Let's take a listen to Umar Farouk, National Secretary of the Labour Party, loyal to factional chairman Julius Abure, speaking on Peter Obi contesting the 2027 elections.
The publicity he's enjoying. He's just enjoying the right of the media. This thing, he will go and talk and do this. But 2027, Obi is not interested in that. Otherwise, we have given him offer. Come and take it.
And you took it back. If I remember,
he rejected it. No. We didn't take it back. He rejected it.
I remember quite clearly that you put up a committee and you decided you revoked the automatic ticket that you had given him and Governor Alex
Oti. He has rejected it.
After he rejected your leadership.
That is rejection. If I give you something and that thing that I gave you is in my own possession, it is our own privilege and right to give you, and we gave you, and you said, look, not even what you gave me, you that have even given me that, and I'm rejecting you. So then what? It doesn't need it. And look at what is happening. Why is he in ADC?
Still on the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, Governor Alex Oti has warned the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, and other APC members that they should prepare to die over an attempt to rig the 2027 governorship election in Abia State. The governor issued this warning to the those he called election riggers, at a press conference in Umuahia on Thursday. When he was asked to respond to Benjamin Kalu's recent boast that the APC will deny Governor Oti a second term and take over power in 2027, the governor said anyone who rigs election in Abia State should prepare to die. Also asked if he was threatened by Benjamin Kalu's recent threat to take over power. He described the deputy speaker as his brother, but said he was not bothered by the threat. The governor, however, noted that Kalu is demarketing the ruling APC in Abia State, urging the people of Abia to remain calm. Governor Oti faulted and condemned the deputy speaker for campaigning against INEC rules. Let's take a listen to Governor Alex Oti speaking on these developments.
It is fundamental human right. Nobody should stop it. But again, we must respect the law. If INEC releases the timetable and says this is the time that campaign starts, if you start campaigning before then, you put yourself in harm's way. You can even be disqualified before the election. So when you gather people and you are telling them you are going to take over the state in 2027, you are campaigning. It's not right. So I will plead with him that if he wants to run an election, he should hold his fire. Once INEC blows the whistle, he should go and pick up a form and begin to campaign. It's for other people to decide who will be their governor. It's also important that the APC is talking about, which has leadership, should know that they are being demarketed in other states. But I call on our people to still hold their peace.
That was Governor Alex Oti of Abia State threatening election riggers in the state. Meanwhile, newly confirmed INEC chairman Professor Josh Amupiton, senior advocate of Nigeria, has revealed plans to adopt modern technology, including drones, to strengthen election monitoring in Nigeria. Speaking during his screening before the Senate on Thursday, he made the disclosure while responding to a question from Senator Oji Uzokalo, who expressed concern over the insecurity and logistical challenges affecting the smooth conduct of elections. He stressed that addressing election-related security threats would require innovation and closer collaboration with the Joint Committee on Election Security, adding that technology could play a vital role in tackling existing challenges. I'm now being joined by Somi Uranta. He's a political, social, and national affairs analyst, as well as an activist, an author, a serial entrepreneur, and a motivational speaker. Somi Uranta, thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 12 this afternoon.
Thank you.
Can you hear me, Mr. Somi?
Yes, I said thank you. Yes, I'm with you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. I want to actually begin with the Labour Party saying that Peter Obi will not be contesting the 2027 elections, at least not under their own platform. Now, that particular interview was on the Monitor Television program, and when the host reminded this factional national secretary that they gave him an automatic ticket and they also withdrew that ticket after the whole situation with the leadership, they said, look, that he rejected that. Why would Obi, who insisted recently that he remains a member of the Labour Party, reject the ticket of the party? Or is this just, would I say, an excuse to not give him the party? Are they looking for a way to push him out of the party because of his collusion with the Nadi Usman Caretaker Committee?
Well, I think Mr. Peter Obi, whatever he decides, the faction that is creating issues in Labour Party cannot stop him. But I also believe that Peter Obi is a blessing, to Labour Party and to any other party that he will decide to go to. So it is not for them to decide where he will run from. It is him to decide, because he is the beautiful bride of the Nigerian politics today.
Are you there, Mr. Somi?
Yes, I said Mr. Peter Obi is the one to decide where he will run from, the party, the vehicle he will use, because anywhere he goes to, he has a followership that, will determine, will be a bargaining chip for him to anywhere he goes to. So it is not the faction of the Labour Party that is talking that will decide. It is him that will decide. So what their opposition does not really hold water.
You say the opposition does not hold water, but this is
their position.
Their position, yes, that's the position of the factional secretary of the Labour Party, right? You say it doesn't hold water, but this is a party that Obi is still a member of. Just a day ago, he said he's still a member of the Labour Party, and his name will be on the ballot in the 2027 general elections. We do not know under the umbrella of which party his name will be on the ballot, but if he says he's a member of the party and he's still in collusion with the people in the ADC, and there are people within the ADC who have their own ambitions. Certain people feel like right now he's politically stranded. If he says he's a member of the party, but the party is pushing him out, the party is heavily factionalized. You have the Julius Abure who recently attended a meeting with INEC, with the people from INEC, right? Does that mean that INEC prefers the Julius Abure faction of the Labour Party against the Nana Usman Caretaker Committee leadership faction of the Labour Party?
You see, to me, I believe that if P2B decides to run from Labour Party, it will be doing a great, it will be an honor for Labour Party to have him. And any other party he decides to go to, he cannot be stranded. A lot of parties are out there looking for a person, of the caliber of P2B. So if he decides to go to any other party, he could just go to any smaller party. Don't forget that before 2023, Labour Party was just there, was just an innocuous party without any standing or reckoning. So not until P2B came into the party that the party, became inflated. So if he decide to say, I'm no longer a member of Labour Party, so many people will forget about Labour Party because they don't have what it takes to stand on their own. So any party P2B decides to go to, there are so many that will take him. He can go to any party or non-party, and he will give energy to that party, and that party will become a strong party to reckon with in Nigeria. So that's not a problem at all.
All right. It be that as it may, right? Even if that is the case, some people think that Obi's support base has been consistently waning over the past few months, especially with his position on certain reforms and policies of the current administration. Some people do not see him as being a very viable opposition, because when this current ruling party, when they were in the opposition, they were really taking a stand as an opposition. But many Nigerians see it as this particular opposition we have now, they are not taking a stand. All they do is talk, and no action. Also, you do remember, right, that Omoyele Sowore, who's presidential candidate of the AAC in the 2023 elections, is right now organizing a Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, which is to hold on Monday, October 20. He has called Obi to join him, and Obi just says, oh yes, I will support you, but a lot of people are not expecting him to be on the field. Many Nigerians are saying because of that, people who used to support Obi are now moving their support to Sowore instead. So since 2023 up till now, hasn't his support base waned to the extent, can he really pull that kind of support he did in 2023? That's the question basically.
He will do far better than 2023. Don't forget, just recently, Mr. Ayo Fayoshe granted an interview where he said that the only opposition party in Nigeria today is P2B.
But that's just one man's opinion.
I know, but it's out there for us to see. See, P2B has been the opposition in Nigeria. No other person, no other party have been anything close to the influence he's been wielding. So don't forget about all the shenanigans and the subterfuge going on, within the country right now. Anywhere Mr. P2B decides to pitch his tent, the obedient movement, which is so stronger than ever before. The Nigerians who have been, the downtrodden Nigerians who have been battered and bespattered by the policies and the economic realities of the nation today, will follow him, they will keep behind him. So P2B is still the beautiful bride. Forget about what is happening around right now. His influence is not waning at all.
His influence is not waning at all, but the people in the Labour Party do not actually think that way, right? But if he doesn't contest under the platform of the Labour Party, and Atiku has a stronghold in Nigerian politics and within the ADC, which other platform can he be contesting in? Remember that the National Assembly has been talking about moving the elections forward, maybe to November 2026. Can he, in 1 year, consolidate his base ahead of the next general elections and actually be ready before the next elections, pull the kind of opposition that can give him winning numbers?
Look, if Nigerians are actually, eager to have a change of situation where they have found themselves, if Nigerians, the mass of the Nigerians who have been burdened by the economic reality of the present Nigeria, if they want to be liberated, if they want an emancipation, P2B remains the only alternative. And within the political sphere of Nigeria today, P2B is the only man standing without blemish. Without blemish. Have you seen anybody, EFCC, have they invited him before? Which other government official, politician that can boast of the kind of influence P2B has? What about his records? Saving money. Nigeria needs a government, a politician that can save money, one that can cut cost on governance, that can give us production. Since Nigerians have to produce instead of consuming. Look, there are so many pluses on P2B's back that Nigerians need him more than he needs Nigeria. I can tell you that.
That Nigerians need him more than he needs Nigerians.
Yes.
But looking at how he's been playing his own kind of opposition, how exactly has he shown Nigerians that he can do a better job of leadership?
Oh, look, first of all, you have to check his trajectory. You have to check his trajectory. The man has been showing in different ways that he is a people-focused kind of person. And that's what Nigeria needs. He has shown us that he's not, a profligate kind of leader. He's a man who is ready, to do what the people want. That is ready to understand the people and give them what they want. And that's what Nigeria needs. So P2B remains the only person in Nigeria political sphere today that understands the problem of Nigeria and the solutions. So if we make the mistake of not queuing behind P2B, then it is ours to grow in poverty and abject penury like we've been going through in the past. So Nigerian, it is an opportunity for us to queue behind P2B to rescue and redeem Nigeria from our economic woes. That I must tell you.
All right. About a year ago, right, the Labour Party offered an automatic ticket to Obi to contest on their platform, and also Abia State Governor Alex Oti. But after the leadership crisis within the party, that ticket was withdrawn in September 2024. Now, if the Labour Party is saying that Peter Obi rejected the Umar Farouk specifically said that he rejected the presidential ticket. Then on one hand, he rejects it, according to Umar Farouk. He's not come out to say anything about that. On the other hand, he says he's still a member of the party and he will still contest in 2027. How can he reject the presidential ticket and still hope to contest in 2027?
I'm sure P2B has something up his sleeve. The day he announces that he's no longer a member of Labour Party, that party ceases to exist, at the level where they are now. They are just making noise because P2B is still saying, I'm a member of Labour Party. But I'm sure he has something up his sleeves. There are a lot of parties around that he can align. And the moment he goes there, in fact, it will be a disservice to himself and a political suicide for him to even agree to run under Labour Party. Because that party has been infiltrated. Just like ABC and the rest of them have been infiltrated.
So what should he do then? Should he move to another party now? Would that be the best thing? You want him to move to another party?
He will reveal what he wants to do.
For people who are his opposition, Mr. Somi Uranta, they use that to score points, to say you cannot even remain in one party. When he was in Abga, he said he was never going to leave Abga. He will forever be in that party. But then he moved. He left that particular party. So that is what some of the people who stand in opposition to him use for their talking point, to score talking points with him. Like he keeps moving from one party to another. Is that really the best thing for him to do at this moment?
Yes, because when a lot of Nigerians, live for stomach infrastructure, they could be people have penetrated. There's a certain cankerworm that have penetrated into some of those opposition parties, the known ones. So if he decides to move to any other one, he will move with the obedient movement. He will move all those even a lot of people in Labour Party now will move to the same party with him. So for me, I think it shouldn't even run under Labour Party, because that party has been there's something, there's corruption. It's been corrupted. So it should never run in that party. It should be in his interest.
All right, then let's still on the Labour Party, but let's go to Abia State, where Governor Alex Oti has said that anyone planning to rig the elections in Abia State should write their wills. He was reacting to a question on a recent statement credited to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, that's Benjamin Kalu, where Benjamin Kalu had reportedly said that his party, the APC, would take over power in Abia State in 2027. Governor Oti says he's not afraid of the threat by the Deputy Speaker's statement, but that he is entitled to contest if he wants to, but they must learn to play according to the rules. He has said anyone who wants to write results should go and write their will instead of thinking about rigging elections in Abia State. Does it mean that Governor Alex Oti is also saying that the APC cannot win elections in Abia State or indeed anywhere else without malfeasance?
Well, I don't know how APC wants to win Abia, but it is obvious that in Nigeria today there is no state that could be compared with Abia. You see, Abia State have been entangled with problems from 1999, from Ojus Okalu to Chodoji to Ikpeazu. The state has been very unlucky. But look at what this governor under Labour Party has done in 2 years plus. He has practically transformed the state. And whoever thinks they want to go and rig election in Abia truly should write their will. Look, it's high time we call a spade by its name and not a farming implement. They cannot read that. Look, Abians are ready to defend their votes. If that governor decides to move to any other party now, they'll still move with him. And nobody can come and rig election in that place. Don't people see? Look at power is working, the electricity, they have electricity. Look at area market, look at the streets in Aba. I was there just a few days ago. The place is changing by the minute. And don't people like good things? Is it just to say I have won election? Is it by name or by action? The people have seen the dividend of democracy, and they cannot go back to the evil days. They can't. No party can take over Abia either by fias or by whatever measure, except, in fact, Abia is Labour for now, and the government, if he decides to move to another party, they will follow him. And that's the only party that, under Labour Party, working through the principles of P2B. So they have something to show the world, and not Benjamin Kalu, not 100 of him can change that. No.
All right then. The Abia faction of the Labour Party has taunted the Alex Oti-led Labour Party faction over infighting and internal wranglings. You know, the factional national publicity secretary that is loyal to be an Abia State governor, Tony Akeni, accused top officials of neglect, sabotage, and deliberate attempt to frustrate the party's national convention. There was a pre-resignation memo dated October 9, 2025 that was leaked to the media. It was addressed to the party's National Executive Council and Board of Trustees. The factional national publicity secretary, who is loyal to Peter Obi and Abia State Governor Alex Oti, protested what he described as intolerable working conditions and policy sabotage by certain officials within the Interim National Working Committee led by Senator Nenadi Usman. With all of this infighting, all of this factionalization, all of this bickering back and forth, and accusations and allegations and finger pointing, does the Labour Party look like a party that is ready for the 2027 elections, no matter who the presidential candidate might be?
We are not even sure that Mr. Alex Oti will run under Labour Party in the next election. We are not even certain of that. And look, Labour Party, I've told you that party has been corrupted, just like PDP has been corrupted, and a couple of other ones. But I can also tell you for sure that there are other parties that have not been corrupted. They will use those kind of party to run the election. But look, Labour Party, all the noise they are making is because of some of the infrastructure. They are eating some stuff, and they are ready to sell the soul of the party and the soul of Nigeria. But I can tell you for free that things will work out better as we move on.
All right, then. To proceed, let's actually quickly move on to Rivers State, where the Rivers State Executive Council has taken a major decision at its first meeting since the suspension of the 6-month state of emergency in the state. Now, the meeting, which was held at the Government House in Port Harcourt, reviewed key contracts and some policies implemented during the emergency rule. Governor Sim Fubara presided over the session, and after extensive deliberations, they resolved to cancel the contract for the reconstruction of the State Secretariat complex awarded to the China Civil Engineering Construction Company. This contract is worth 134 billion naira. Now, it's been cancelled. The council has also told the company to refund the 20 billion naira mobilization fee that it received. Receiving 20 billion naira mobilization fee out of 134 billion naira to reconstruct the State Secretariat complex. Is that really how much it costs to reconstruct the State Secretariat complex? Or would you say that Governor Simfura is trying to undo some of what the sole administrator did? Recall that the week he was leaving office, the Rivers State House of Assembly came together and they told him to come and give account of how we spend the state money. And he said he's only accountable to the president.
You see, the Rivers State Executive Council, chaired by the governor, the people's governor, people-focused, people-centric governor, Simfubara, if they decide to revoke any contract, whatever they decide to do, in trying to right the wrongs, of the unfortunate emergency rule and suspension that took place 6 months ago in the state, they are in the rights to do that, because the state, fell into the hands of political scavengers and buccaneers. The resources of the state was destroyed. The River State that used to be the garden city of Nigeria almost became the garbage city of Nigeria. And the governor, thank God, is back, fully back, on track, trying to put this. I'm in River State as we speak. I'm in Port Harcourt. And the governor has been working, day and night to ensure that things are brought back to normalcy in the state. Look, Rivers people are happy that the governor is back. Whatever he decides to do, we'll follow him. And he's ready, we are sure, he has the interest of Rivers people at heart. And that is all that matters. The days of emergency that happen in the state, where buccaneers and political scavengers, devoured and dealt with our resources without giving account, are over. So whatever they decide to do, we are in support of it.
All right, then let's quickly look at the now newly appointed INEC chairman, right? That is Professor Joash Amupiton, suggesting using drones to monitor elections. He said this during his screening before the Senate just yesterday while responding to a question from Senator Oji Uzokalo. He says to address election-related security threats, there should be innovation. There should be a closer collaboration with the Joint Committee on Election Security. He says technology can play a vital role in tackling existing challenges. On the build-up to the 2023 elections, we saw a number of people coming out to threaten Nigerians, saying if they will not be voting for a particular party, the ruling party, then they should not come out to vote. We've also seen certain people coming out to make such threats this year as well. During that election, there were pockets of violence in several different states, in several different areas of the country. Deploying drones, can it actually really curb these security threats? Or do we need to have our security agents that are on ground be actually more strict with security? Because even in the local government elections that are held in Lagos on July 12, there were incidences of people being induced at the polling unit with food, money, and other items, and security agents were just sitting down there and looking.
You see, Professor Amupiton is in the eye of history. It is up to him to go down the way of infamy like his predecessor, the past INEC chair. He either will choose that path or he choose the path of glory where he will deliver an election before that will be acceptable to all Nigerians and the global village. It is up to him to do that. It is not just talking about using drones, as technology. There should be a holistic, review of the electoral process in Nigeria. The IREV, and the in fact, electoral transmission of results must be enshrined in the constitution so that it will not be within the whims and caprices of INEC to choose or not to choose. We must have an election that is acceptable. The sanctity of the ballot, the sacredness of the ballot system in Nigeria, the ability to vote and let your voting count must be made real in our life. Otherwise, we will be joking and we will be said to be subhumans among the Community of Nations, the Community of Civilized Nations. Nigerians must be able to vote and their vote count. Let the people who vote for be the ones that will rule over our affairs. Otherwise, we cannot lay claim to the same humanity of the civilized nations.
Well, we'll continue to hold the government and our security agencies accountable for the well-being of Nigerians at all times. While we're talking about this, insecurity continues to ravage different parts of the country. There was good news this morning where the Nigerian forces troops were actually able to capture some terrorists who have been terrorizing Nigerians. We see some communities negotiating with bandits, and we see some governments coming out and say they will not negotiate with bandits. But we also see situations where these people are pardoned and reintegrated into society, given uniforms, they are being fed and all of that. How do we fight against insecurity and reduce it to the barest minimum? There was a report, it was 2 days ago, that a new terrorist group has surfaced called Wulo Wulo. There is the Lakurawa terrorist group that we're talking about at one point. There's Boko Haram, there's ISWAP, we have banditry, terrorism. When you go to the southeast, there's unknown gunmen. It's quite unfortunate that Nigerians in certain areas of the country have to sleep with one eye open.
You see, the governments have not shown any concern or shown us anything serious that they want to fight insecurity. Because the problem of security in Nigeria or insecurity in Nigeria is that while they are making some headway in one area of the country, at the other side they are using policies that are anachronistic.
Are you there, Mr. Somi Uranta? Hello, sir, are you there? All right, then we have been speaking with Mr. Somi Uranta on the World News at 12 today. Hello, Mr. Somi Uranta, are you there? Can you hear me? All right, then this is where we post the conversation for today. We've been speaking with Mr. Somi Uranta right here on the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Mr. Somi Uranta, if you can hear me, thank you very much for joining me on the conversation this afternoon. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that Netanyahu pressures Hamas to find remaining dead hostages. Fresh bandit attacks in Kaduna leave 9 dead and several abducted. Labour Party declares Peter Abia will not contest in 2027, and Governor Oti fumes over plot to rig 2027 elections, tells election riggers to prepare to die. And that is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned. Matters will be coming up by 1:30 p.m.